ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 2022. Yes, this is the very first episode of Debate Amongst Friends of the New Year. We hope you had a wonderful and safe holidays. Welcome back. I am the Professor John Gotti. Insert all the catchphrases. And I am the wise man for the reigning, defending, undisputed podcasting champion of the world, our tribal chief, the head of the table, the sultan of squat, the advocate of blank, Los Tranquilo himself, Doc El Idolo. Doc, I am so sorry. I know your New Year were great, but your weekend, man, it was rough. It was rough.
It was a lot of immaturity. I don't even know. I mean, I guess we'll start and put it in chronological order.
Well, first of all, let's get this out of the way. How was your New Year's, sir?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. We went to the living room, and Doc Leisner had champagne compliments of the Professor John Gotti.
How was that champagne, by the way?
It was freaking fantastic. Fantastic.
that was high quality champagne.
But no, it was fantastic.
That's awesome, man.
Watched a little TV, watched the ball drop, watched a lot of people possibly get COVID-19 because they were out there. And like I said, off the air, temperatures rising. Temperatures dropping. And I believe wholeheartedly that
the problem isn't the temperature rising. It's the fact that people who are in areas where the temperature is dropping, are going to the areas where the temperature is either rising or staying the same.
Right, and where the temperature is dropping, I believe that
it got so bad to the point to where my phone used to give me like updates on the number of Corona Chan victims, and they took that off this morning.
Stop.
we don't want to track that crap anymore. Everything's good.
But now we're tracking something different.
We have a situation, and of course I mentioned this during the intro, Doc. Not one of your teams, but both of your teams had problems this weekend. What the heck? I mean, I can understand with Houston, you still have to deal with the succubus from the Astros stuff. Like, I get it. But then it reached a new level. And then the Buccaneers, even though they won the game, but no one's talking about that. Also, Doc, I'm going to open the floor with you so you can address the people.
So I'm not going to address too much. I think I said I was going to let you give most of your opinion, but I'll give them the news. This past weekend, the Rockets were playing the Nuggets. I think they gave up. No. It wasn't that they gave up 71 points. I think it was the fact that they only scored 47 points in the first half. Even though giving up 71 points in a half is terrible. It's rough. Somewhere in that locker room during halftime, Kevin Porter Jr. got into a heated discussion, heated debate, heated argument, heated whatever you like to call it, with John Lucas, the assistant coach. He leaves the arena. He chucks up the deuces. Christian Wood says, I'm not going back in there to play this crap. After failing COVID protocol, I think it was, whatever their internal team COVID protocol is, he failed it, which resulted in him coming off the bench. And even when he was in the game, he didn't play well, so it didn't matter. Then, a day or so later,
wait.
Right, there's more. I'm watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get clapped by the Jets. I mean, clapped.
I mean, it's not much
when he did
clap, but they won the game.
Listen, when he's waving, right here, right in the picture that's gonna be on the,
Of course, it's gonna be the pitcher. I mean, we have
it has to
to
be.
we
Yeah,
have
it has to be.
to succumb to the hot takes.
See, when he's waving here in this picture, it's 24-10, right? It is 24-10, Johnny.
Yes, and of course,
Uh,
Doc is talking about Antonio Brown.
of course, I'm talking about Antonio Brown. 24-10. The Bucks are getting clapped. They're not getting any sacks. They're dropping interceptions. They're letting Barrios look like, the best dang receiver in the league. He looks like Antonio Brown out there. And then you got freaking, Zach Wilson finally, living up to the hype. But again, and I said this earlier in the season, when you're playing number 12 on the other side, you get the best out of the opposing team. And it just showed potential, which I'm pretty happy with Salah and the work that he's done. Is just, I don't know. Um, this is a rough one. So this situation is kind of double edged. So I think I said that the Cowboys played better without Zeke. The Browns played
Play
better
better
without
without
OBJ.
BJ. Yep.
The Bucks at first didn't play better without Antonio Brown, but as soon as he waved goodbye, there was an emergence of a Cyril Grayson Jr., which he had the hot hand. The commentators had his biography in line, high
Yeah,
school track
they
star.
they were trying to get away from
Oh my
the
God.
OBJ thing so fast.
Yeah, OBJ, they was like, they tried to get rid of Antonio Brown. They tried to get rid from everything. It was like, oh, this guy was a track star. He didn't go to college, and now he's making plays. He's catching passes from Tom Brady. But Antonio Brown's situation, so apparently in the third quarter, which I saw Tom Brady go over to him and say, hey, let's go. Let's come back and win this game. And he said, if I'm reading correctly, mouth reading, right? Lip reading, let's go. He didn't say I'm hurt. He didn't say I can't. He didn't say, can I do it? I'm not gonna be able to do it. He didn't say that, right? He didn't say anything. He just said, let's go. Moments later, or a couple minutes later, you see him talking to Mike Evans on the sideline. Mike's like, come on, man, let's go win this game, probably, I assume. And he's like, yo, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Just can't do it. And Mike said, just like Mike Singletary said, can't play with him, can't run routes with him. Just can't do it. All right. Then Bruce Arians said, can't coach with him. Just can't do it. We got these young guys. We're gonna move on. So now it comes out today,
Hmm.
while Doc's getting his Z's, that Antonio Brown was too hurt to play. I don't know. I don't know about that, Johnny. I'm just not like. All right. In Oakland, remember the whole toe thing? I get it.
Yep. Dip toe.
But now we're talking about, you're out there. You ran a couple routes. He didn't play a lot. They were on a snap count. All right. Him and Mike Evans were both on a snap count. Um, which if people don't know, that means that they're limited, all right, to a play count. Um, Cyril Grayson, Tyler Johnson, Cameron Braid, a lot of these guys play more minutes, more snaps. I saw OJ Howard out there playing more. Um, Antonio Brown, it's your time. It's your time. No, no, I'm not going back out there. Boy, you need 55 yards. 55 yards to get $333,000. Why couldn't you just go in, get these passes real quick, and then wave goodbye? Like, that's what I would have did. I would have tried to get these 8 catches. I would have tried to get these 55 yards, right? I would have tried to do that. Hey, feed me real quick so I can get out of here. It's very simple, but that did not happen. Now he is no longer a Buck. Um, and they said that this outburst cost him $1 million. But one more thing before we get to the games. Actually,
Yep.
we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna get to the games. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about with this Antonio Brown thing is, it wasn't the fact that he, did what he did. Um, I called my dad, and this is the part where it gets crazy. I called my dad after the game, and I said,
Shout out to Pops.
because he's a Jets fan, and first of all, I was like, what the heck just happened? Like what the bleep, right? What the bleep just happened? He was like, the Jets happened. The Jets happened. He's like, nah. He's like, I did not expect that. I did. They did. You know. I said, well, outside of all that, obviously you saw what happened with Antonio Brown. He was like, yeah, he's done. Oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with that guy. He just gave up $1 million. So I said, Dad, it's not just fair that he gave $1 million. What's the weather out there in New Jersey? And he said, it's 30 degrees. It's 30 degrees, dropping to 20. And I said, so not only did he take his clothes off on the field, but he took his clothes off in 30-degree weather. Boy, is you crazy?
It was like 20 degrees out here yesterday for me.
It's probably
I
20
ain't doing
degrees
that.
here now. Yeah, it's like, let me
I
check right
ain't
now.
doing
He's
that.
not doing that. Exactly. It's nuts. I was like, yo, and he's like running casually too.
I mean,
It
and
says,
I know we're gonna take a quick break, but since I didn't have the chance to actually give my take, because I figured
yeah,
that's why I gave Doc the floor.
I told you to take it, man. You gave it. You passed the ball, so I just been dribbling with it. I was gonna run an ISO doc.
all all I had to say was, and I was telling Mr. Doc off the stream all day yesterday after the incident occurred. I am on the pulse of Twitter. I'm on the pulse of Instagram. I am
Hmm.
reading. I am watching all these people cover this moment, and
Hmm.
they have been speculating all night long. Then this morning, before the news came out, we had people on Good Morning Football
Mm.
being highly passive aggressive.
Hmm.
Oh, we shouldn't say that he has a mental episode,
Wow.
but oh, well, back when I was playing, you still have to like, we're supposed to be trying to champion about mental health. Like, people are posting like uh parental advisement as an album cover with, of course, the very same picture Doc is displaying. Like, people are having
Hmm.
way too much fun. Here's the
No,
thing.
I agree.
Here's the thing. Antonio Brown, I don't know what's going on here. This is why I immediately told Doc this might be a mental health episode. And then when Doc mentioned his father saying, how cold it was out there at MetLife, I'm like, well, that kind of, put the cherry on top right there. Outside of what happened in Green Bay with the one fan not having a shirt on, that's something
Right.
different, totally different scenario.
Yeah,
We
fans are a
cannot,
different scenario.
we
Yeah.
cannot use the same two situations and call it the same.
Yeah.
But immediately, I'm like, Doc, this has to be like a mental health episode. Like something is going on. Of course, with today talking about it being I still think there's something mentally happening.
So initially, I thought he was mad because of the count, the snap count, right?
Yes.
I mean, Friday it was announced that he sprained his ankle. He had a slight ankle sprain. So of course, naturally, him and Mike Evans coming back from a hamstring issue, which Mike could very well be trying to get 1,000 yards, like right to keep his streak going.
Yep.
But he's on the sideline, like, hey, bro, like, I mean, I don't know what Mike said. I'm hoping that I'm sure somebody's gonna ask him, you
Well,
know.
of course. I mean, they've been asking. Actually, they pretty much asked the entire team if they was part of the post game conferences after the game.
I'm pretty sure. I'm
And
gonna
I'm
probably
and
check
and
that out.
literally this is going to be the talking point for the Buccaneers for all the media scrums throughout the week, heading into
Yeah,
the season finale.
yeah. And Mike needs about 54 yards to hit a
Yep.
1,000 yards again, and he'll hit it, and he'll get out of there, like he did last year, hopefully. Which is crazy because he hurt his hamstring last year as well. But it's crazy. He could have easily been on the sideline, upset as well, but he's a veteran, and this is what you expect veterans to do. But
Agreed.
I'm not sure what is going to happen with AB. Again, a team may take a chance on him. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know.
Um, a lot of people are saying that he's done. Um, as my dad said, if you can't work with Tom Brady, who can you work with?
And again, I
Um,
don't think it's that though. Like, I don't think it's a matter of working with them.
but I'm saying, like, if you can't keep your cool
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
with, and Tom is like, Tom probably would have cursed him out if he was on the sideline. Tom probably would have cursed him out if he was on that sideline.
I actually
Uh,
have zero doubt in my mind that Tom Brady
yeah,
would have.
Tom would have cursed him 6 ways to next Sunday.
Yikes.
But I don't know. And as far as Houston goes, I don't know. Like
Like
I
I
said, I
said,
feel bad for
unfortunately,
Silas.
Silas might end up getting fired because of it. I don't know because the problem is I don't trust your front office still.
Yeah, and I get that. I mean, Raphael Stone hasn't he's put together a talented young team. I think they really botched this whole John Wall thing. I don't like that, but I mean, we got some really really talented guards. So then we're gonna take a break after I say this. But you got that guy that won't be mentioned anymore because he's no longer there. He acquired a lot of forwards. You remember we had a lot of forwards on that team. We had a
I'm
lot of forwards for many years.
I'm not saying anything. I'm letting Doc say it all because I'll end up
I
slipping his
mean,
name
you were
out.
there.
So
You were there. He had a lot of forwards. A lot of forwards. It was like forwards as far as the eye can see. This gentleman gets all the guards. Raphael Stone has as many guards, and then some people are considered forwards, right? They're forwards,
yeah, they're a
but
combo,
sure, but height wise, you know that they're a guard,
of course.
right? So it's it's obvious that they haven't seen what they need yet. They're still trying to run, I think, a system that was predicated on those threes, right? Mike D'Antoni's system, and I think it's time to get away from that because it's just not there. Yes, we can run because we got a lot of youth, but um, it's time to slow it down and figure something else out. But with that, let's take a break and let's get to these games. And we are back. Let's jump into some of these other games, the more important ones than just the Bucks and the Jets. But
Yikes.
the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington football team, um, the old skins, just couldn't get it done. And I mean, the game was so great that fans were literally falling out of the stands.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna have to put a yellow flag up for that one there. The football team, I mean, they fought. It was also a
They play
divisional game,
well.
so they're gonna have to fight hard. They wanted to try to play spoilers, and they nearly did, but I mean, Eagles pulled it out. Eagles are rolling. Eagles have a win streak right now, and they, as a result, well, not as a result of this game, but as a result of some other teams losing, they
Hmm.
have clinched a playoff berth. So the
Mm.
Eagles are in.
Well,
I
they're
mean,
in the win and the
last season, the NFC East was the NFC least, and this season now they have two teams in the playoffs.
true. That's true.
I mean, a
So they
paradox.
won. They won with the win and a certain team losing, which we'll get to. Um, but next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens hosting the Los Angeles Rams.
This was also a really good game.
Yeah, I thought the Ravens were gonna pull it out. Honestly,
We literally had the Matthew Stafford of old appear again, and it almost burn the entire city of Los Angeles to the ground. Even though they were they were not at home.
They were not at home.
But this talks about the grit. The defense played and showed up. They played out. Cooper Kupp, I mean, he leads the league in all the receiving categories. I mean, there's a reason why people are considered for MVP this year.
Yeah.
I'm really
not
the
sure.
only black spot is really just Matthew Stafford's, ability or inability to not throw picks.
Yeah, and I said that they're gonna rely on him. I'm looking forward to the matchups, which we'll probably get into later on this week.
Yeah.
As they finally finalize the schedule, so we'll go over that.
They
but
finalized that this morning. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. We've already talked about the Bucks beating the Jets 28-24. The Titans found a way.
Yeah,
to
we both had the
Dolphins.
the Dolphins
Yeah.
too. Well,
Yeah.
it's like I always say to Doc, and he doesn't like it, but it actually applies with the Titans. There's a will. The Titans found a way.
34-3. Dolphins just couldn't get it done. I mean, they
Nope.
laid an egg. Hopefully they
The
can.
offense can't do nothing, and the defense was out on the field for so long that, I mean, it hurt. It hurt big time.
Huge. And as you said off the stream yesterday, Tennessee is back at number 1.
Yep. As a result to another team losing. And we'll get to that. Which is actually hands down the best game of the whole weekend.
Yeah. So we got 2 games and then we're gonna get to that. I got number 1, New England dominating Jacksonville, ending that coaching staff.
Did say that was going to be
ending that coaching staff is tenure. I think the fans are going to be calling the game next game. Don't you worry. I think they'll be putting in live voting soon.
I mean, I can't wait for Bob Boucher to make his appearance as a Jacksonville Jaguar. I'm just saying.
Might as well. They might as well bring Tebow back.
Last game of the season, can't hold anything back.
They might as well bring in They might as well bring in Antonio Brown and Tebow just to sell some additional tickets.
Yes. Don't give them ideas, Doc.
I know. Next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders beating the Titans. Derek Carr said, "Wait a minute,
defeating the Colts."
I'm sorry, defeating the Colts. I got Cardinals on the brain. But yes, the Colts lost to the Raiders. Good game.
This was
back and forth.
Really good game too.
I would say probably the third or.
I would say the third.
Fourth.
I would say the third.
Okay.
I would say the third.
But the number 1 game is this one here: the Chiefs versus the Bengals in Cincinnati.
Goes meow.
The Chiefs, which I chose, by the way. I said Joe Burrow watched Justin Herbert. I said this last week. And he watched Justin Herbert. He said, "Justin, let me show you how to
and
do
I
this."
said I don't want to pick the Chiefs. My
say
brain
that.
is saying to pick the
You
Chiefs,
did
but my
say
heart
that.
said it needs to go with the Bengals.
You
And
did
I said,
say
I really, really hope that the Bengals make me a liar.
You did say that. You did say that. You absolutely did. And they did. It was tough toward the very end. To the very end.
It didn't look well in the first half, but
yeah.
Again, the Bengals are we're talking about a second half team of the year. I mean, the Bengals are a second half team, folks.
One name
and
says it all.
Jamar Chase absolutely destroyed that secondary.
Correct.
Like I am just sending Doc messages over. Like, this guy might be a god against this secondary. Holy
12
crap.
targets, 11 catches, 260
and
yards.
He broke the single season.
Yeah.
Rookie receiving and I believe yards as well, which was done by Justin Jefferson just last season. Beast.
But Joe Burrow, as of this morning, I got a message that said he should be considered for MVP now, which I don't know. That's kind of rough, but I said that. See, I said that.
But Doc said yes.
I said that. I said that I didn't think that Aaron Rodgers separated himself from the other quarterbacks, which is why I thought Taylor should win it. But Joe has been. I mean, obviously he's thrown to wide open Jamar Chase. I mean, he's
No,
wide open.
no. There was one play where he threw it to Jamar Chase, and he was literally surrounded by the entire defense of the Chiefs, and he just blazed straight through them
I don't think he
for
blazed
a
through him.
sixty-seven-yard touchdown.
I think he gritty through them.
I
He
think
gritty.
I think I've seen enough gritty this season.
I feel you. He gritty right through
I think my gritty quota has been filled. Everyone's doing the gritty now. After a
them. Yeah,
field goal, after a special team play,
yeah,
after a pass deflection, everyone's
yeah,
doing the gritty.
yeah, yeah. Which is kind of rough, but enough gritty talk. But on the other side, Patrick Mahomes, 36 to 25, 259, 2 touchdowns. He spread the ball around. Nobody actually did anything spectacular.
Nope.
Nobody over 60 yards. They ran the ball pretty well, 14 carries, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. The end of the game, though, Johnny, I mean, really had us on the edge of our seats. Joe Burrow throwing the ball. It's 4th and goal. You got a holding on both teams
Both teams.
penalty.
Yep.
Then you had a holding again on the defense. Automatic first down. The Bengals take a kneel. Coach is yelling on the sideline, "Listen, you spiked this ball."
Yep.
And
Doc was freaking out. He was like, "Why didn't you spike the ball with 5 seconds
yo, oh
left?"
my
Doc
god,
was
because it's like, think about it. Like, it's first down, you take the kneel. It's second down, you spike it. It's third down. Give yourself 5, 6 seconds just in case you bobble the snap or something stupid like that. You got to pick it up and spike it or whatever. But
no. They
you
said
know,
we want it
uh,
all. We want it all.
2 seconds. EFL EFL legend Brandon Allen gets a chance to spike it down with two
Yeah.
seconds left.
I
And
mean, whether or not you agree with the ref calls, I mean, this was a heck of a game, folks.
yeah. And the Bengals, I mean, they look good. We'll have to talk about the
And
QB ranking.
they ruled the north of
They
the
do.
AFC. So congrats to them.
We'll have to talk about the QB rankings when they come out, see where Joe is. But the next game is expected. Chicago Bears dismantled the Giants. The only bright spot here, Shaquan Barkley ran for 100 yards.
Yep.
The, I
That's
mean,
great. This is his first 100-yard game this season, too.
but the Giants somehow managed to get a negative 11 passing yards,
I'm
which
not
is
surprised.
ridiculous. I
I'm not.
told
I'm
them to
not.
stop starting Mike Glennon, but that goes in one ear and out of the
The other.
next.
Yep.
Buffalo beats Atlanta
Yep. We
29-15.
both had them.
Yeah, San Francisco beats Houston 23-7. Trey Lance gets his second or third start, I believe it is,
Yep.
which is good going in. This is a good tune-up just in case he does have to play in the
Hmm.
playoffs.
We both had the
Uh,
Niners, too.
yeah, 16 to 23, 249, 2 touchdowns. And he actually was able to find Brandon Ayuk. So that worked out for them. Next game here, we got the Chargers beating the Broncos 34-13.
I
The real
believe we both
Chargers
had the
showed up.
Chargers.
I believe so as well. I'll have to confirm, but I believe so. I think I chose out of this next team, New Orleans versus Carolina. I cannot. I think we chose opposite, so
I
one of
believe
us
so.
lost. One of us lost this one. I
Someone.
might have chose Carolina, honestly, because I just didn't know what was going to happen, but it's okay. You chose Detroit without question versus
I
Seattle
did.
because yeah,
I said, screw it. Why not?
why not? Yeah, and then what's supposed to be the best 4 o'clock game, the Arizona Cardinals versus the Dallas Cowboys. I chose the Cardinals. You chose the Cowboys for good
Hmm.
reason.
You had the
Uh,
Panthers in that other game, by the way.
I thought so.
And I had the Saints.
Um, the Cardinals, the score doesn't reflect how the
It
Cardinals
does
beat up on
not.
the Cowboys.
It does not reflect this game at all.
Uh, I feel like they took a step back. They were dropping wide open passes again.
Yep.
Michael
And
Gallup made a heck.
what was it? What was it that I said on Friday? What was it that I said on Friday? I
Said a lot of
literally
things.
said everyone kept saying, "Oh, the Cowboys are ready to go," and I'm like, "This is only 1 week." It's all about being consistent.
Well, you called them frauds yesterday,
I
so now they
did
gotta
call them
now they gotta
frauds.
now they gotta show prove you wrong in week 18 here.
No, they
Uh,
are them frauds.
like I said, if if they have to play the Cardinals again, which I think I saw some scenarios where they would have to play the Cardinals again,
Mhm.
I assume it'll be a different game, maybe. But I had a feeling that they weren't going to be able to stop Chandler Jones. Um, but the Cardinals defense was blitzing
Yep.
left and right. It was insane. Um, but Cardinals win, Dallas loses.
Yep.
And then we had Green Bay double check the Bears. Pretty much, you know,
Double
not
check.
the Bears. I'm sorry, the Vikings.
Yeah.
I forgot
Put
that
put
Green
put him
Bay.
in a body bag, Aaron.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was thinking, he ended, Nagy's career, right? And
And now he ended Mike
Zimmer,
Zimmer's career.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And I
he did.
said that turn again. Like, well, this is the way they want to play on this last game. Sure.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. But tonight we got Cleveland heading to Pittsburgh for Ben's potential last
Home
game,
game.
home game, yeah, in
I mean,
the
everyone's
Heinz.
coming to attend, former teammates, former opposing players as well.
Tom's gonna be there. Just kidding.
Tom's gonna
Just
be
kidding.
there.
Tom's not.
Tom.
Tom's not gonna be there. But
He might actually be there,
I,
actually.
based on the way this is going, the Bears lost. The Bears won. So the Bears
Yep.
won. The Vikings lost. I don't know any other coaches that might get fired this particular. Oh yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguar
Uh,
tenured staff, whoever's
Vic
there.
Fangio for the Broncos might be going too.
You think so?
I think so.
Dang.
I think so.
I'm gonna go. Dang, this is a terrible game.
It is a terrible game. Who you got,
I'm
Doc?
gonna go with the Browns though. The defense is still, top five dead or alive, and that's just up one LP.
I'm also going with the Browns. Not only just their defense, but they still have Nick Chubb out there running.
Yeah. And
The
if
Steelers are going to try to make it big because it's a very emotional night for them, and they want to try to, send Ben off with a dub, and not like what happened with like Dan Marino, because that's exactly what they keep talking about.
all the Browns have to do is go back and watch how the Vikings played a couple of weeks ago, and this game is over.
Well, I don't think the Browns can throw the ball the way that the Vikings did on that game, though.
I mean, they didn't have to. I mean, Dalvin Cook was splitting them wide open that game, so
Justin
that's why they was
Jefferson
able to throw.
was able
That's
to
why they
get
was
over
able
the.
to throw.
Yep. But I'm
I
saying because
mean,
Baker still, yeah,
he'll be all right.
like
He's gonna be
just run the ball, just run the ball,
just
just
run the
run the ball,
ball. That's it.
just run the ball,
Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Tap
just
it
a little tap.
in. But we're gonna see what happens. But we also had college football.
We
Um,
did.
we had the championship playoff games, setting it up for a rematch of the SEC championship, like we all wanted to see. Yay!
I
Yay!
mean, we literally
Yay!
said it as soon as they came out with the final rankings. Like we literally said we know exactly who's going to be in this championship game
You guys freaking suck. Oh my
because it's
god.
all about the money. And both games weren't even close.
Yeah, I will say Cincinnati. They had a chance. They kind of blew it.
Yes.
They blew it more than Alabama dominated them. I mean, the game was only 27-6. But
Yeah.
in the
But I
in
mean,
the first
in,
half,
in,
we're
in the
talking
fourth
about,
quarter, that's when they really started to
oh, they piled it on.
break away.
Um,
But
it was 7-3 in the first quarter, right? I mean, we got a game.
yep,
But then Cincinnati's offense just started to struggle. They weren't moving the ball. A lot of three
a
and outs,
lot
and
of
then
three and outs. It was a lot of
Alabama
three and
just
outs.
scored 10 in the second quarter. No, I mean, Cincinnati had a chance to, get back in the game. Alabama didn't score in the third quarter. So this is your opportunity, Cincinnati. You're making some turnovers, you're getting some
Yep.
sacks. You're getting back there, but they just couldn't do it. And the game ends 27-6. Alabama, Bryce Young, how about say MVP, but Heisman, 17-28, 181, 3 touchdowns. But the real story was Brian Robertson Jr., 25 carries, 198 yards. Um, he just ran all over him. Absolutely ran. I mean, even Trey Sanders, 15 carries, 73 yards. They just
Which heading
ran
into the
all.
game, I did say that was Cincinnati's Achilles heel is their run defense. Like their pass defense was absolutely lights out.
Which is crazy because they have 6 people, 6 people in the box, 5, 6 people in the
That's
box.
what I'm saying. But for some reason,
Um,
they just and I saw in a few of their other games, like they just can't stop the run, but they can stop the pass, legitimately, which is what they was able to do. But
to an extent, they got clapped up a little bit at the end there.
I
It was
mean, I
yeah,
mean,
it was pretty bad.
if you're defending for so long and your offense not on the
That's
field
true.
and they're not doing anything, like it's really
That's
hard
true.
to keep up the same type of effort.
No, that's true.
Being
Now
on the
coming
field for
in
like
here,
6 to 7 minutes.
agreed. So next we got Georgia versus Michigan.
hmm
Um, coming in, I was like, oh, Stetson Bennett, 5'10", 5'11", maybe this Michigan defense can get after him, with the, top 5 player, Aiden
No.
Hutchinson coming after him, boy, if like the wheel route was a glitch in a game, it was this one. The wheel route, the stop and go, like every,
every
lane,
every naysayer against Georgia had to eat their words.
a lot of crow,
Like they had to eat humble pie.
a lot of crow. Um, Stetson Bennett, 21 31, 3 touchdowns, 310 yards. And then, you had the double pass in there. We had a lot of things going on. It was just too much. The Michigan team, they didn't run the ball well. They didn't pass
Nope.
the ball well.
Nope.
Well, I can't say they didn't run the ball well. They could not run the ball well.
There we go.
Uh, but then they didn't pass well either. Cade McNamara just didn't look good. JJ McCarthy didn't look good. At least JJ McCarthy was able to get a touchdown, but even still, it
They
was
got a touchdown at the very
yeah,
end
very
of the
end.
game.
I always say that. I always say that. But I just don't know, man. I
Like
just don't
literally,
know.
this game was 34-3.
It was. It really was. It's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. But now we got this championship game
SEC rematch.
on
SEC
January
championship game
January
rematch.
10th, next
Yep.
Monday. So we'll wait till Friday.
And Doc will be in Texas for such
He
game too.
he will be actually. He will be. So we'll
Who
wait
knows,
till.
folks? We may actually do a live stream.
Hey, I mean, that'd be pretty sweet actually. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But
Hey, Chris, let's make that happen, okay?
but Johnny, I know that people heard this podcast on their favorite podcast platform. But if they didn't, they can always go to www.debateamongstfriends.com to review this episode as well as all the previous. Be sure to tune in mañana as we go over more news, more analysis, and the reads.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. And a happy new year to you, too.